Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Evan Golub, and I am here, as it were, to talk to you about life as a robot. Okay, so why discuss telepresence? Well, the rise of the internet played a role in flattening the world in many ways. It has changed the way that families, friends, colleagues are able to communicate and share. Still, there are experiences that are either ideally or just practically limited to being in-person ones. As the bustling building that you are in demonstrates, conferences are one such example. The same can be said of many historic or natural locations. Visiting in person has a variety of costs. They can be further hindered by physical or psychiatric disabilities or just personal commitments, such as acting as a family caregiver. This is why we seek to extend the conversation about the future of telepresence. Now, as we set out to explore the current state of telepresence, looking towards the future, we felt that involving children in the process was essential. Consider what you each had to do, and arranged to be there in Denver this week, and imagine trying to arrange all of that either as or for a child. At this conference, there are at least 3 dozen presentations on work that involves children. Across the world, there are research groups that involve children for their perspectives and contributions, yet how many of them are there in Denver this week to meet fellow researchers and continue that in person? Okay, so speaking to the current state of technology for remote communications, variety of options. Video chat, conferencing tools abound. The stability at a reasonable cost, it's possible. Telepresence robots, like the beam units you may have seen rolling around Chi this year or last year, they open up an option that augments video chat to include a physical presence at the remote location. I'm here today thanks to my co-author, packing my virtual self in her luggage and assembling the Denver presence that you see right now. Okay, so to explore the state of telepresence with kids, members of Kidsteam, an intergenerational design team, attended part of Chi last year in California virtually from Maryland via a beam robot. The team has 8 children, ages 7 to 11, and as interdisciplinary adults, and we meet regularly throughout the year to design new technologies for children using a process called co-design. As part of this, during 2 90-minute design sessions last May, the team attended various events at Chi, and the team completed design activities while and after using the beam robot and interacting with conference attendees, describing those experiences. We then held a follow-up session on the future of telepresence technologies. We had a number of positive experiences, but also some frustrating and unexpected ones. So you might be asking, what was Chi like? Well, we think it's best to describe this through a series of vignettes. Okay, first, overall, the experience was a positive one. The children were enthusiastic about meeting family, current, former Kidsteam members who were there at the conference, and getting to explore the research being done. However, what we found was it wasn't almost like being there. We got to talk with Google researchers about their mobile lab, and were invited to tour it. And after we explained to the kids that it's actually okay to get in this strange van with us, specific context, safe place, we were unable to do it because the robot was bigger than the van's door, and we couldn't bend to get in the van. It was kind of funny. we were able to participate in a roundtable session about children and technology. But yeah, as we ran around introducing ourselves, the person sitting to my right began to speak as I began to speak, clearly not seeing me as a peer in the room who would participate. Now, at the roundtable itself, it was quite welcoming, and yet it felt odd because I was standing while everyone else was sitting and at eye level with each other. As we roamed the halls during coffee breaks, people avoided us like we may be a runaway robot rather than welcoming us. We were coming out of the demo room and somebody just covered our camera eyes. They snuck up behind us, covered our eyes. We had no idea what was going on, and then they walked away laughing. It provided opportunities, but it's not quite being there yet. It's worth noting that there were social and physical challenges, and there were some technology glitches. We were doing this from the other side of the country, which is great, but the camera, it couldn't zoom, it didn't really have high resolution, and so we found it difficult sometimes seeing the other side of the room, or even somebody near us because of the lighting conditions. Our ability to navigate chairs, keep up with people we were walking and talking with were challenging. Everything was linked to Wi-Fi, and so dead spots, heavy traffic could shut us down. I mean, one time we were riding down in one of the elevators, and as the doors were closing, boom, image went black and white, then everything cut out. We had no idea what was going on, and then it came back on, and we were just moving, and we're like, hey, we're back, because the student volunteers, they were trying to get us to our destination. Okay, what is the future, right? What is the future? That's the present. As we experienced these elements last year, we built on the experiences to explore the future of telepresence. And the next several slides are going to highlight our hopes for that future and hopefully inspire some more conversation. An advantage, with Kidsteam, this is what they do. They think broadly after seeing things. They took the academic conference setting and expanded it to the type of cons they wish they could attend, like Comic-Con or BronyCon, My Little Pony convention, we found out, because that's what they wanted to attend. They saw one of the kids talking to their dad and said, hey, this is a way we could actually stay in touch with distant family members in a more authentic way than just video chat can offer. Now, perhaps, things like sitting around a table, bending fit through a door, having hands, shake somebody's hand when you meet them, aren't maybe too unexpected, as I say that those were things the kids wanted. But on the list of maybe unexpected, their desire to have interchangeable hands for different types of interactions. They wanted the ability to feel what they were touching. And they came up with this idea of a built-in item transporter that would allow them to have food from the remote location sent to them so they could taste it. It would let them give a physical object to a remote person that they just met. Let's see. Oh, they also wanted to be able to move faster and not sound like a giant vacuum cleaner while doing it. They imagined a future where they didn't necessarily want to have to control the robot. They wanted to say, follow my friend, and relieve themselves of the need to steer, make their way through a crowd and just walk and talk like they normally would. Okay, now from some of their drawings, replacing wheels with the ability to fly was popular. And while we feel the safety risks associated with rocket jets might be a little insurmountable, the dream of being able to prevail in a world filled with staircases, escalators, elevators, and chairs, it just doesn't sound unreasonable. Finally, something that really came out of this was the ability to customize our virtual self. It was such an important element of telepresence and being able to really flatten the world for us. Wearing a recognizable t-shirt last year was sometimes possible, but that was with non-trivial logistical help from Kidsteam members who happen to be in San Jose. You know, in the future, it should be easy to dress for the occasion. It could be business attire, it could be casual clothing, an HDL t-shirt for T-shirt day, or a cosplay outfit to make us look like a unicorn. To truly feel like we are represented at the remote location, the ability to customize our look just as we would if we were biologically there, Kidsteam felt that was an integral part of the complete formula of telepresence helping to flatten the world. Thank you very much. It's been great being here. Take any questions.
Questions from our beam?
I know.
All right.
It's basically everybody's a peer on the team, the children, the undergraduates, the grad students, the faculty and staff members. And for this particular occasion, we used one of our low fidelity prototyping techniques, actually two of them, as we were experiencing Kai through the Beam robot. We wrote on sticky notes things that they enjoyed, things that they were frustrated by, and things that they wish they were able to do. And then we looked for patterns in those sticky notes. We clustered them to look for themes in their desires. The follow-up session, we gave them large blank sheets of paper and markers and crayons and asked them, draw what it's like in the future. And that's actually one of the reasons you know, why we involve the children, is that it has such a potential to impact them in the future. They are less mobile than we are. They have curiosity just like we do, if not more. And we really see telepresence as something that it has practical purposes. It allows me to talk at this conference. It allows others in the room. Hi there, I see you in the back there, in telepresence from remote, right? Attend the conference. But it can go so far beyond that day-to-day. It can go into exploration. It can go into teaching and learning. It can go into having strong ties with family who are far away, and talking on the telephone for a child just isn't the same yet.